Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Monday, August 23rd, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 497 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Wuhan lab leak theory, how Fort Detrick became a center for Chinese conspiracies. I'm a citizen with no country, Mark Sanford on turning against Trump and his party. Armed protests are picking up, and a new study says they're more likely to turn violent. Hundreds clash in Portland as Proud Boys rally descends into violence. The latest, Britain urges U.S. to extend Kabul evacuations. Startling photos capture East Coast flooding and wreckage from Tropical Storm Henri. New Zealand PM says elimination strategy absolutely right, as lockdown extended. 3,000 villagers in India held a feast to mourn a beloved bull that lived with them for 20 years. Jesse Jackson, wife hospitalized after testing positive, Pfizer vaccine could win FDA approval soon, live COVID-19 updates. Taiwan's president receives domestically developed vaccine. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. As COVID-19 hospitalizations rise, doctors hope vaccine approval and boosters can stave off the surge, CNN. At least 22 dead, 20 still missing after flooding in Humphreys County, WSMV Nashville. Spider-Man, No Way Home trailer has leaked, and spoilers are all over social media, Games Radar. Antibody levels help predict immunity after COVID shots, Health News, NPR. NASA's Curiosity rover video shows a fresh panoramic view of Mars, Engadget. Protesters identifying as Proud Boys, Antifa clash in Portland, The Washington Post. Stocks, futures climb, dollar dips with treasuries, markets wrap, Yahoo Finance. Coronavirus, young people warn of long COVID amid jab drive, BBC News. A huge number of rogue supermassive black holes are wandering the universe, Science Alert. Kamala Harris says the U.S. is singularly focused on evacuating Americans and Afghan allies, CNBC. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Henri hurls rain as storm settles atop swamp northeast. E.T., phone hell, creationist Ken Ham says Jesus cannot save space aliens. Trump booed at his own rally for finally telling the truth about something. Fox News host ridiculed for implying Jill Biden somehow at fault for Afghanistan. Where are the adults? Mary Trump lashes reckless rally by narcissistic uncle. Not American, Adam Kinzinger slams GOP fear-mongering about Afghan refugees. Biden touts evacuations from Afghanistan but warns a lot could still go wrong. New Zealand all-white soccer team drops nickname. Now Mike Lindell predicts Trump's fantastical reinstatement before year's end. Education Secretary ready to use civil rights arm to probe school bans on mask mandates. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Mother fed up with city's lack of response. Vacationers, locals brace for Henry's impact. Dance theater celebrates anniversary. Des Moines mourns sudden loss of teacher. Domestic incident leads to crash. Doctors react to county's mask mandate vote. Community, law enforcement to pay respects. Parents find new home not part of school district. Downtown post office renamed in honor of civil rights icon. 4,000 homes evacuated as Henri approaches. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Pressure grows on Biden to extend Afghan withdrawal deadline. Full approval of Pfizer vaccine in U.S. may spur mandates. Business updates, a Fed meeting and a key inflation reading. Did the war in Afghanistan have to happen? What an adult tricycle says about the world's bottleneck problems. In the South, we are fighting COVID, and our own elected officials. How the Taliban turned smartphones into weapons in Afghanistan. When will Texas say enough's enough to Greg Abbott? 2 New York judges ordered defendants to get vaccinated. Can they do that? Yes, the owner of a movie theater chain feels bad for me. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Nevada Senate candidate Adam Laxalt says his Trump ties will energize base, give GOP majority in 2022. Newt Gingrich, Biden's historic crisis, Dems must do this to fix America's problems. Carmelo Anthony shares Kobe Bryant war story ahead of Lakers legend's birthday. Jesse Jackson and wife remain under observation for COVID-19. 49ers quarterback competition heats up after Trey Lance's solid game versus Chargers. Bell, and Akbar among nation's best on losing teams. Lance throws 2 TDs passes as 49ers rally to beat Chargers. Liz Peek, Biden's epic Afghanistan debacle, here's what it means for the Dems' progressive agenda. Quantrill, Indians beat Angels 3-0 in Little League Classic. Hillary Knight ties goal record, U.S. beats Finland 3-0. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Monday, August 23rd. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Belarus is forcing Afghan migrants over the Polish border at gunpoint. Taliban warn of consequences if U.S. and Britain try to extend August 31st withdrawal deadline. Beyoncé poses for Tiffany campaign with husband Jay-Z. COVID became the 9th leading cause of death in England last month, with virus behind 1 in 40 deaths. Britain wants to double Kabul airlift numbers to 12,000 this week. She is 35, unvaccinated and in a coffin, grieving husband backs jabs as his wife dies from COVID. British man who chopped penis off in suicide attempt gets it reattached, and can get erections. Sex Pistol Johnny Rotten loses High Court fight with former bandmate Steve Jones and Paul Cook. Women born 34-inch thighs now models for brands showing them off. Heat wave finally begins with 12 days of sun and temperature soaring towards 81 F highs. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Hive updates, Taliban fighters head to resistance stronghold, seeking to seize control. Gunfire at Kabul airport kills 1 amid chaotic evacuations. Australian town shoots and kills shelter-bound dogs over coronavirus concerns. Aid groups, millions in Syria, Iraq losing access to water. Officials, Egypt closes Gaza border amid tensions with Hamas. U.S. is still a global leader, Harris says on Asia trip, as allies fret over China. Indonesia cabinet minister gets 12 years in COVID-19 graft. Rains in central China cause landslides, no deaths reported. In China's business crackdown, corruption probe casts pall over Alibaba's hometown. Airlines will help the Afghan evacuation through a post-World War II program. Here's how it came to be. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus live news. Taiwan rolls out the domestic vaccine. China reports 0 new cases for first time since July. UK growth hit 6-month low as staff and material shortages bite. Business live. We're peons to them, Nabisco factory workers on why they're striking. revealed how California police chased a non-existent Antifa bus. Romelu Lukaku dominates Arsenal on return as Chelsea's leading man. Rainbow, Spirit of the Amazon Review, a magical tale with a sense of adventure. Afghan guard killed in Kabul airport gun battle. Premier League, 10 talking points from the weekend's action. The trashy stuff connects to the bigger picture, the gossipification of America. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. The latest, Dutch opening second center for Afghan evacuees. On Real Hive updates, tropical storm warnings discontinued. COVID-19 Hive updates, Jesse Jackson hospitalized with virus. Inside Kabul airport, deteriorating conditions drive one family to leave. At least 21 dead, 20 missing in unbelievable Tennessee flooding. Rod Gilbert, Hall of Famer for New York Rangers, dies at 80. Watch, man exchanges dumbbells for dachshunds. Watch, tropical storm batters shores of Montauk. 7 killed at Kabul airport, fighters seize areas from Taliban. Haitians return to quake-damaged churches, gangs offer aid. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Tennessee flash floods kill 22 with dozens missing. Afghanistan, people of Kabul airport flee Taliban with just a suitcase. Tennessee, drone video shows damage from flash floods. Barricade, first South African film in Cape Town's Afrikaans dialect. Afghanistan, U.S. ramping up Kabul evacuation effort, says Biden. Chip giants IPO hit by Beijing crackdown on business. COVID, Taiwan rolls out homegrown vaccine amid criticism. Afghanistan, women should fight for the right to work. Nord Stream 2, Russia must not use gas pipeline as weapon, says Merkel. French match abandoned after player hit by bottle. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. On this day, August 23, 2000. Police social media posts of crises may traumatize. AP top stories August 23. School start mudded by lack of routine vaccines. Cathedral repairs persist decade after earthquake. Governors, storm disruptions could last days. Tropical storm on drenches northeast after making landfall in coastal Rhode Island. Devastating scenes of ruin with at least 22 dead, about 20 missing in Tennessee flooding. Today in history for August 23. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Op-ed, the burning debate, manage forest fires or suppress them? State officials open investigation into whether Larry Elder failed to disclose income sources. James Flanagan, longtime Times business columnist, dies at 85. Sheriff's investigators search for driver who struck vaccination worker in Newhall. Calder fire burning east of Sacramento tops 100,000 acres, with winds expected to weaken. California recall reality, Newsom could be replaced by candidate with far fewer votes. 2 youth group members hospitalized because of suspected illegal substance near Venice Boardwalk. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Monday, August 23, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. American woman trapped in Kabul and plea for help. I'm really scared. They're going door to door looking for individuals who worked with the U.S. military, Afghan military, law enforcement, foreigners, high-rank Afghans, families, people who helped out U.S. troops. Taliban commander released from Guantanamo told them he was just a shopkeeper. Israel finds COVID-19 vaccine booster significantly lowers infection risk. Australian Senate poised to pass bill banning imports made using forced labor. Australian foreign policy. Lebanon raises fuel prices by 66% as it tries to ease shortages. The death toll in the major earthquake that struck Haiti on August 14 has risen to 2,207, authorities said Sunday, as gang attacks on aid convoys have complicated efforts to bring relief to survivors. Afghan civil war unavoidable if Taliban refuse talks, says opposition leader. Afghanistan. Biden's national security advisor says ISIS threat against Kabul airport is real and acute. A thrilling sign, researchers discover secret colony of highly endangered marmots on Vancouver Island. Putin rejects idea of evacuating people from Afghanistan to nearby countries, saying he doesn't want militants showing up here under cover of refugees. Afghanistan's Massoud refuses to surrender to Taliban, warns of war. Ancient Christian settlement in Egypt shows evidence of urban planning. The arrival of the highly infectious Delta variant has raised some big questions about New Zealand's pandemic response, a minister has said. Out of control, Brazilian Amazon deforestation hits highest level in a decade. From August 2020 to July 2021, 10,476 square kilometers of Amazon rainforest were destroyed, a 57% increase over the previous 12-month period. Boris Johnson has called for G7 leaders to meet on Tuesday for urgent talks on the situation in Afghanistan. The next headlines are from Forbes. Here's what two journalists told me, in real time, about their escape from Afghanistan. Biden reveals discussions about extending August 31st Afghanistan withdrawal deadline. GM's $1.8 billion Chevy Bolt recall shows why automakers' F rollouts could be on fire. Despite the pandemic, renewables soared again in 2020. Since trade deadline, Yankees have hit a home run with TV and streaming numbers. WWE SummerSlam 2021, Brock Lesnar's return epitomizes everything that is wrong with the company. Coffee and clothes gives brands a jolt of energy. Poll shows 81% of Americans support taking in Afghans who assisted U.S. Tropical storm Henri, storm weakens after making landfall but causes widespread power outages, flooding. States with school mask mandate bans likely won't lose federal funding, Education Secretary suggests, but will face investigations. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,726,682,040 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Free Guy is the rare movie this summer that gets to be an only in theaters hit. Do you think other movies are jealous? Column. Boiling Point director on capturing the alcoholism, drug abuse and stress of high-end kitchens with his Stephen Graham film. Bruce Springsteen was in his dressing room, We Love NYC producer on the effort to keep the concert going. Fox News says it evacuated 24 people from Afghanistan. Serbian director Stefan Arsenijevic on contemporary refugee story As Far As I Can Walk. Rachel Maddow renews MSNBC deal. Wanda Jackson and producer Joan Jett on the Rockabilly Queens encore and whether it's really the end of the road. Self-review, grown-ups misbehave at a child's birthday party in this enjoyably chaotic Serbian comedy. Michaela Cole, Norman Lear and Steve McQueen accept special awards at 2021 AAFCA TV Honors. Box office, Paw Patrol crushes Hugh Jackman's reminiscence as Free Guy remains #1. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Biden touts incredible evacuation operation from Kabul, but warns of ongoing danger. Flash flooding in Tennessee has left at least 10 people dead and dozens more missing. Dawn Everly, half of the quintessential harmonic duo the Everly Brothers, dies at 84. The Pentagon is calling on 6 U.S. airlines to help with the Afghan evacuation effort. A beautiful feeling, refugee women in Germany learn the joy of riding bikes. Moving inland, tropical storm Henri drenches northeast. How rape affects memory and the brain, and why more police need to know about this. They faced racial bias in military discipline that can impact national security. This is how the white population is actually changing based on new census data. Facebook's most viewed article in early 2021 raised doubt about COVID vaccine. The following headlines are from The Week. GOP sassy says Biden is drifting into hostage situation in Afghanistan. South a harbinger for rest of U.S. as schools reopen, former FDA commissioner warns. National Security Advisor, U.S. taking terrorism threat at Kabul airport deadly seriously. Breakthrough infections may be less transmissible, study suggests. Broad support across American political spectrum for helping Afghan translators enter U.S., poll finds. Civilian air fleet activated for just third time in history to aid Afghanistan evacuation. COVID-19 is sticking around, America should plan accordingly. Vaccinated only need apply. The next headlines are from Universe Today. SpaceX thinks it can send humans to the moon sooner than 2024. These are the news headlines for today, Monday, August 23rd. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Unexpected Perseid outburst floods cameras, rouse viewers. Blockchains work like DNA in cells, scientists say. Voyager 2 confirms Neptune's rings this date in 1989. Sun Regulus in conjunction August 23rd. The next news is from Politico. Sweden's prime minister to resign in November. Merkel's conservatives hit record low in poll as German election nears. Ukraine insists Nord Stream 2 is dangerous despite German reassurances. Just watching with horror, a photographer in Afghanistan on the eve of collapse. Biden confirms U.S. has extended perimeter around Kabul airport. 9 of 10 fastest growing districts rep by Republicans, census data shows. States cannot block federal funds for districts that mandate masks, Education Secretary says. A posthumous message on bipartisanship, there's value in people you don't agree with. Polls show Biden's approval rating sliding to new lows. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australian News Live, tougher restrictions as NSW, Victoria COVID-19 cases continue to grow. Boris Johnson to confront Joe Biden at G7 meeting on Afghanistan withdrawal. Bulk carrier with COVID-infected crew to arrive in Perth early on Monday. Afghan interpreter Abdul served the coalition in hope for change. Now, from his suburban Australian home, he watches his country collapse. Dominant Barty cruises to victory in Cincinnati final. Risk and instability, Afghanistan seen as weak link for China's Belt and Road Initiative. Biggest flex, I'm fully vaxxed, is vaccine talk the new sexting? Dancer Josephine Baker to be first black woman honored with burial in France's Pantheon. Whalen and dealing to the top of Vance's banking ranks. ASX set to rise as Wall Street Fed jitters wane. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Living with climate change, think your house is fully insured against hurricane damage? Beware of these policy loopholes. The Wall Street Journal, Rachel Madbow's multi-year deal to stay with MSNBC. Newswatch, investors await taper clues as Fed moves Jackson Hole online due to Delta variant. I'm 57 and my new husband is 80. I'm not on the deed of his house. Instead, he gave me a credit card with a $1,000 spending limit. The moneyest, my stepson bought a home with his now ex-girlfriend. It doubled in value to $400K. She is willing to accept $50K. Should I intervene? Retire better. More Americans have $1 million saved for retirement than ever before. Retirement Weekly, how to put your child tax credit to work for the future. Retirement Weekly, why alternative investments belong in 401k plans. Retirement Weekly, how to extend your life by as much as 2 years. The next headlines are from Quartz. China is applying industrial policy to winning gold at the Winter Olympics. The U.S. is using a Cold War rule to airlift Afghan evacuees. Nigerian founder fears TikTok's new megastar, gaming investment. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Funniest most insightful comments of the week at Tech Dirt. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Miguel Cabrera. Matt Gaetz. Southampton vs Man United. Atlanta Falcons. Chelsea. Reverend Jesse Jackson. Dawn Everly. Dak Prescott. Dallas Cowboys. Tennessee Titans. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Pentagon activates rarely used civil aircraft reserve to speed up evacuation as Taliban blames U.S. for chaos at Kabul airport. Biden stands by hard and painful evacuation from Kabul, could back sanctions on Taliban depending on the context. I am doing it. Ukraine's first ever Olympic gold medalist Biel renounces citizenship in favor of U.S. Citing COVID threat, Australian council shot sheltered dogs dead instead of allowing volunteers to collect them. At least 21 dead in Tennessee floods as dozens remain missing after torrential rains. Morale among downtrodden Border Patrol agents plummets as Biden policies leave them unable to protect national security, report. Ukraine must be ready, Merkel tells Kyiv you won't be using Russian gas by 2046, Zelensky wants weapons and help to build up navy. Same old story, Chelsea icon Drogba hails Romelu Lukaku's impact as Belgian bags goal and dominant showing against Arsenal. Mandatory vaccination shouldn't be forced on anyone, Putin declares, arguing people should just be encouraged to get jab instead. Russian sensation Chimiev set for Octagon return after COVID enforced absence with spot on stacked UFC 267 card. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Senator Joe Manchin dares to admit the coal industry has to be saved. At least 22 dead, 50 missing after deadliest flood event ever in Middle Tennessee. WikiLeaks reviews some of its greatest hits leaks on Afghanistan. The new censors, polls shows almost half of Americans favor government censoring misinformation. Australia rethinks COVID strategy after cases hit record despite draconian lockdowns. Russian military hails Syria's successful intercepts of 22 of 24 missiles in latest Israeli attack. Watch Live, President tries again to defend his farcical exit strategy from Afghanistan. Key cryptocurrency developments and updates in the last week. Pentagon unaware of State Department security alert telling Americans not to come to Kabul airport. Ultimate insult, Taliban mocks historic Iwo Jima flag-raising moment with own photo. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Taliban says hundreds of fighters heading to take Panjshir Valley. Palestinians in Gaza pledge to defy Israel to protest at border. U.S. Several killed in Tennessee floods, dozens missing. Gangs operate as Haiti earthquake death toll crosses 2,200. Who stands to benefit from the U.S.'s exit from Afghanistan? Tropical storm Henri bears down on U.S. East Coast. How is a state of siege changing eastern Dr. Congo? Nigeria, bandits release 15 students after parents pay ransom. Israeli inquiry into deadly Mount Meron stampede begins hearings. All Afghans should feel safe under Taliban, says security chief. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Martina Navratilova mocks vax skeptic radio host who died of coronavirus. Joe Biden, history will judge me as logical, rational, and right on Afghanistan. Joe Biden, a lot could still go wrong with Afghanistan evacuations. Watch, Andrew Cuomo lashes out at reporter for asking about scandals during hurricane briefing. Vulnerable Democrats attend RIPC DCCC fundraiser while Americans are trapped in Afghanistan. Report, State Department hit with cyber attack, extent of breach unclear. Watch live, Joe Biden updates the nation on Afghanistan and hurricane. Sean Penn shames unvaccinated moviegoers, you cannot go around pointing a gun in somebody's face. Exclusive Senator Haggerty, completely incompetent Biden will screw up infrastructure just like Afghanistan. Portland police won't intervene in expected clashing protests, says chief. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. India bans long list of single-use plastics starting next July. German animal shelter posts Tinder profiles for lonely animals, hoping for a perfect match. Teen rescues bumblebee and now it won't leave her side even sleeping in a jar by her bed. Americans want to use less plastic and they hoard containers rather than tossing, poll shows. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Monday, August 23rd. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. James McAvoy was so hooked on Oblivion he had to burn the disc. Evolution is now accepted by a majority of Americans. Sri Lanka bans drunk driving of elephants in new protection law. Video, guy napping mistaken for a dead body. Man hospitalized after taking livestock feed store ivermectin for COVID. A Miami paramedic had sex with a patient. He lost his license, but that's not exactly why. Excommunicated Spanish witch village turns curse into tourist cash. Snail mail surprise for Hinckley parcel workers. Chrysler turbine car, why the government made Chrysler crush its jet cars. Kenya holds biggest ever animal census. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Master a variety of IT skills with this bundle of classes designed to get you certified. Learn the ins and outs of Microsoft Excel with this 12-course bundle of classes. TikTok partners with blockchain startup, and this could be good news for creators. Ignore what you've heard, techies make great CEOs. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Monday, August 23rd from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Scott D. Pierce, Utah plays a major role in animated series designed to battle suicide. Maureen Dowd, a rough beast returns. Rise up and create miracles, speakers at prayer vigil for Afghan refugees share how we can help. Dolly Parton and James Patterson are working 9 to 5 on a novel. Desperation in Afghanistan brings fear and hope in Utah. Robert Kirk explains how Utahns can help. Bus driver shortages are latest challenge hitting schools in Utah and across U.S. Bayou football coaches aren't saying who the starting quarterback is, but here's what one QB coach thinks. Rich Lowry, who will believe Joe Biden now? Leonard Pitts, tiny dots of men plummeting down from the sky. Accepting Afghan refugees may not be easy, but it should be done, the editorial board writes. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Are our smartphones making us dopamine addicts? U.S. health insurers caught negotiating worse rates than for those with no insurance. Samsung surpasses Intel to become top semiconductor manufacturer. Smartphone company alleged to be a scam defrauding 300 investors of $10 million. If remote work lasts 2 years, will employees ever return to offices? Climate change is making hurricanes worse. Could a black hole surrounded by energy harvesters really power a civilization? AI power tech put a 65-year-old in jail for almost a year despite insufficient evidence. $97 million stolen from Japanese crypto exchange. Will Isaac Asimov's foundation survive its transformation into a streaming series? The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. The first city in Missouri to reach 50% full vaccination is. Wainwright extends mastery of Pirates and Cardinals 3-0 win. Erratic driving upends Bomarito Automotive Group 500. Man killed after truck breaks down in traffic on I-44 in downtown. Local restaurant hosting trivia night to collect items for Afghan families coming to St. Louis. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile or U-Cellular, map shows which cell provider gives your area best coverage. Funeral held for 5 children who died in Metro East apartment fire. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Biden says U.S.-led evacuation from Kabul is accelerating. News Now, both coasts battered by severe weather events. Tropical storm Henri makes landfall in Rhode Island, thousands lose power. U.S. calls on airlines to provide planes for Afghanistan evacuations. El Cajon car crash victim had a whole future ahead of him, friend says. Bicyclist struck, killed on SR-78 in Escondido. San Francisco man dies while hiking in Death Valley. How to prove COVID-19 vaccination status in California. Petco Park's payment processing system experiences outage during game. Mayor's office hosts back-to-school event to help families in need. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Ukraine's new Opla tank breaks down in rehearsal parade. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Monday, August 23, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Biden says U.S.-led evacuation from Kabul is accelerating. 22 dead, many missing after 17 inches of rain in Tennessee. Feds close 9 national forests as wildfires spread across NorCal. Air quality advisory issued for Monday due to wildfire smoke. 33-year-old man killed in Oakland crash. Biden planning to give an update on situation in Afghanistan. Dawn Everly of Early Rock and Roll Everly Brothers dies at 84. Homicide investigation underway in Oakland. Hit-and-run traffic collision kills man in San Jose. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Naperville woman charged with stabbing fellow passenger in moving vehicle. Round Lake man killed in crash with truck on I-355. Glenview police looking for SUV and hit-and-run crash that killed Wheeling man. Aurora man, 27, killed in Naperville motorcycle crash. Body of man who fell from tube on Chino Lakes recovered. Former Aurora kindergarten teacher convicted of assaulting student. How McHenry County groups work to vaccinate the homeless. Arkush, Bears came out flat versus Bills, but why? Mask mandate inside suburban Cook County public places restarts Monday. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 7.1 m, depth 14 km, in South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands August 22, 2021, 21:33 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green alert for tropical cyclone Henri 21, population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 86,270. Green alert for tropical cyclone Amaze 21, population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.8 m, depth 16.16 km, in South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands August 22, 2021, 15:22 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6.8 m, depth 11 km, in South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands August 22, 2021, 0:45 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Greece, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Burkina Faso, Benin, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Ghana, Niger, Nigeria. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Monday, August 23rd in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Hottest stretch of summer weather before rain returns. Drivers attempt wrong-way pad to avoid Southwest Freeway congestion. Matt Gaetz elopes to Catalina Island, marries girlfriend in small ceremony. U.S. Rep. Troy Nehls tests positive for COVID days after family member contracts virus. Man barricaded himself and 4 kids in house after shooting wife in argument over beer, HPD says. Safe walk home to kickoff event for Houston ISD students returning to school Monday. Biden says 11,000 flown from Kabul over weekend during Sunday speech. At least 22 dead, dozens missing in Tennessee after 17 inches of rain caused devastating flooding. Dawn Everly of early rock and roll Everly Brothers dies at 84. Woman gives birth aboard U.S. evacuation flight from Afghanistan. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Bez returns from injury, Lindor to follow for Mets. Barty makes short work of Teichmann in Cincinnati final. Naquin homers twice, Reds beat Marlins 3-1 to sweep series. Braves top Orioles 3-1 for Baltimore's 18th straight loss. Rays rout White Sox 9-0, take 2 of 3 in series, Archer hurt. Nordqvist's Women's Open win gets her into Solheim Cup. Keenan throws TD, Browns beat Giants in matchup of reserves. Hernandez strikes out 8, Royals batter Cubs 9-1. Analysis, civil discourse missing in Louisiana COVID debates. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Henri downgraded to tropical storm, heavy rains and wind gusts still expected. Photos, Central Park homecoming concert cut short and evacuated due to severe weather. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. From the field, extinguishing the practice of crop burning. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. There's no funny business about SNL cast member clues. Believe it or not, I actually want to wear these jeans. The gathering of the Juggalos sees Steve-O, Chris Hansen, and a horde of crazy clowns take over Ohio. He was Kim Jong-un's party pal, now he rots in a Chinese prison. Lauren Boebert may have violated financial disclosure laws. Lefties planted the anti-science seed fueling vaccine skepticism. The enchanting actress torching the patriarchy to Rick Eden. We need more kids, but not the way the GOP's talking about it. Why is Biden's Department of Justice continuing this Trump-era witch hunt? The U.S. has been fighting the wrong wars the wrong way for decades. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Giants season depends on these big money stars. Pass over Broadway review, an enticing, uneven play. Stream it or skip it, Naked and Afraid of Love on Discovery Plus, where singles try to find love while surviving naked in the middle of nowhere. Endeavor staffers fume over IPO, saying it mainly enriched Wasari Emanuel. Letters to the editor, August 23, 2021. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. U.S. forces may stay in Afghanistan past August 31 deadline, Biden. Rachel Maddow and MSNBC reach multi-year deal to keep top-rated host at the network, report. Tropical storm Henri makes landfall on Rhode Island with winds of 60 miles per hour. VP Harris lands in Singapore amid Afghanistan crisis. Biden's approval rating drops amid twin crises at home and overseas. Trump devotees boo as the former president suggests vaccines in Alabama. Watch live, President Biden delivers remarks on Afghanistan evacuation, tropical storm Henri. White House still weighing more troops to Afghanistan, top official says. Henri danger isn't over once storm passes, FEMA says. Here's how to stay safe. Anti-mask states could face civil rights investigations, Education Secretary says. The following headlines are from military.com. Veterans are prized recruits as congressional candidates. British military, 7 Afghans killed in chaos at Kabul airport. Imbecilic, ex-UK leader Tony Blair slammed Afghan withdrawal. Pilot of World War II plane killed in crash at Pennsylvania airport. China both worries and hopes as U.S. departs Afghanistan. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Warrior moms send more than 50 youth to Great America Saturday as break away from Chicago violence. Body pulled from Fox Lake Sunday was the man who fell from a water tube Friday, fire officials say. 2 killed in shooting, crash on Eisenhower Expressway, state police say. Aurora man killed, second person hurt in motorcycle crash on Naperville's southwest side. Weekend shootings leave 3 dead, at least 20 wounded as of Saturday night, police say. 40 shot, 5 killed in Chicago in weekend gun violence through Sunday. Dawn Everly, half of Everly Brothers duo who scored huge hit with Bye Bye Love, dies at 84. Chicago weather, beware high waves, rip currents. Bronzeville mourns longtime community organizer killed at 65. Everything he did was about bringing people together. Reverend Jesse Jackson, wife Jacqueline hospitalized for COVID-19. The following headlines are from FIS.org. 17 inches of rain devastate rural Tennessee, at least 10 die. Tropical storm Henri hits Rhode Island on U.S. East Coast. Leak and destroy, on the hunt for climate-killing gas. Russian rocket launches 34 new UK satellites. Hurricane Henri bears down on U.S. East Coast. Sugars from human milk could help treat, prevent infections in newborns. making nylon 6-6 greener and without zinc. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Monday, August 23rd, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The ignored history of nurse PTSD. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Nice Marseille's game halted after fan trouble. Cabrera hits 500th career homer, Tigers beat Jays 5-3 in 11. Analysis, expect more starters next week, and could the Seahawks consider re-signing KJ Wright? Storm shows it can win if Big Three have an off game and win against Mystics. COVID concerns have Cup drivers worried ahead of playoffs. Wheeler, Sykes help Sparks hold off Liberty for 86-83 win. Fire destroys barn at Ellis Park in Kentucky, horses safe. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Calm here, crazy there, effects vary widely as Henri weakens. Governor Cuomo says storm won't stop his planned resignation. Crush at Kabul airport kills 7 as Afghans try to flee. A mixed box office weekend as Free Guy tops again. Bay Area TV Sports, what to watch on Monday Tuesday. SF Giants make several roster moves, Disclafani and Longoria hit injured list. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Islamic State poses threat as American troops evacuate civilians in Kabul, Biden says. Biden says Afghanistan evacuation situation improving. Anti-Taliban People's Uprising forces seize territory in Afghanistan. Waverly, Tennessee flooding kills at least 22. House returns for $3.5 trillion vote despite Afghanistan meltdown. Biden to meet with G7 leaders on Afghanistan crisis. Antony Blinken contradicts Biden's assertion al-Qaeda gone from Afghanistan. Afghanistan refugees arrive in Texas for processing at Fort Bliss. Surgeon General Murphy defends school mask mandates, vaccine requirements. Mario Cuomo New York to finally part. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Banks are opting out of PPP loan forgiveness. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Kinzinger on Biden's Afghan pullout, I think the execution has been extremely disastrous. President Joe Biden says U.S.-led evacuation from Kabul is accelerating. Cubs set franchise record with 13th straight loss at home. Should Apple be allowed to rummage through the photos on your phone? Kimbrel and La Russa talk it out, move on. With Bears up in 6 days, Titans coach tests positive for coronavirus. William Richtenwald, dogged investigative journalist who went undercover for Sun-Times Mirage Tavern series, dies at 79. Run to remember honoring fallen, injured cops offers morale boost for Reeling Police Department. Patriots only in a nation of one. As search for new CPS CEO progresses, 2 names emerge. The next headlines are from the Times of India. States need to boost COVID care facilities for kids, panel. Afghanistan crisis shows why CAA is needed, Puri. Indian origin say people get threats, go into panic mode. India's Rahul Rajasekharan wins Mr. Supranational Asia. Big Boss Ott, Ridhima Pandit and Karan Nath get eliminated. Stick to giving advice, Amarinder slams Sidhu's advisors. Long jumper Shaylee settles for silver in U20 Worlds. Pentagon commandeers commercial jets for airlift in Kabul. Haryana Home Minister Anilovich hospitalized. Afghan evacuees recount harrowing Taliban experience. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Balloon Fiesta sets Guinness World Record, Cobb. Jamaica's girls set 4x100 World U20 record on final day as country end championships with 11 medals, Sportsmax TV. Quillen, a candidate for Guinness World Record, Isle. Julius Maddox attempts to break bench press world record, Newsweek. Say 4x100 relay team break world record at U20 World Champs, News 24. Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah runs second fastest women's 100 MOF all-time, CNN. Environmentalist attempts world record swim around the Isle of Wight, ITV News. Smith, record-size fish are the stuff of dreams but sometimes they're also cautionary tales, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Dubai's Roads and Transport Authority achieves new Guinness World Record, Gulf News. Final Fantasy 13 40-hour stream breaks gaming marathon world record, The Gamer. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. The Dungeons & Dragons film has wrapped production. Facebook releases shelf transparency report on its most popular posts. Black Canary solo film finally coming to the DC cinematic universe. Trump's border wall torn apart by Arizona monsoon rains. Kevin Feige in no rush to make another Avengers movie. Green Lantern Corps actor Finn Wittrock thinks new series will be epic. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Mitrba in Kuwait at 118.94 degrees Fahrenheit or 48.3 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 95.98 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 71.1 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Intrepid brewer risks scalding to recreate recipe for long-lost medieval mead. Tion Bar Social Club Review, won't you be my algorithmic neighbor? Looking for a new job in tech? It may be your lucky day. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Disgusting, Jim Acosta snaps at Daryl Issa after he defends sexist jokes about women. Trump officials are playing fast and loose with their history on Afghanistan, CNN fact check. Florida parents set to battle run DeSantis anti-mask mandate in hearings on Monday. Mike Lindell, still in Trump's good graces, has new prediction, reinstatement by New Year's. Monsoon rain has torn apart Trump's border wall. Top Wisconsin Go-Per traveled with Trump to Alabama to discuss review of 2020 election results, report. Where are the adults? Mary Trump calls out GOP for letting her uncle continue to endanger the public. CNN scolded on live TV for over-the-top Afghanistan coverage. 5,000 people died of COVID in this country. Here is how Trump is trying to raise cash as he faces a mountain of debt. Kevin McCarthy slammed by ex-GOP aide for shameful attempt to link voting rights to Afghanistan. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Pentagon orders airlines to help evacuate people fleeing Afghanistan. Tropical storm Henri bears down on New England, me. Donald Trump encouraged people at his rally to get vaccinated. They booed him. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. The 50 best alien movies of all time. Movies. TheSouthern.com, The Southern. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Monday, August 23rd, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Center for UFO Studies, see UFOs, new digitization project. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.